Control, this is SD682. Approach to space dock covert.
SD682, you are cleared to deliver Fleet Admiral Palmer and Party to Communications Studio 01. Over.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. Depends on what part of the world you're from. Fleet Admiral Carel, welcome to work for today, but Russell Camp is going to be our pretend Steve.
No, that's going to be you guys hosting. I'll be your job.
Oh, okay, I see. I can't be Steve. I'm not that tall.
We'll get his step ladder.
Need more than a step. Let's see. What is he? 6'4". I need a 9-inch step ladder. Okay. Well, anyway, so let's begin. Today, this is our international edition. So we are lucky enough to have with us Vice Admiral Richard Sams. He is the RC of Region 20, CO of the USS Merlin. So glad to snag him today. Next, we have Vice Admiral Owen Swart, the RC of Region 8, and is the CO of the USS Dauntless. Yay, Dauntless. I'm not biased at all. No. Carel Botha couldn't be with us today. He's detained. So we'll go on to Fleet Captain John Hardy, our resident vampire, as Steve says. And he's the CO of the USS Essex. Right, in Region 20. And last but not least, Commodore Eilidh Montgomery, CO of the USS Alba, also in Region 20.
Hi.
So we've got Regions 8 and 20 here today. And I will want to say this, if everything works out all right, next month, which will be the last one of the year of the International, we are having crew that comes from Mexico. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Do we have any questions? Let's see who's here today. Oh, and Steve is watching from work, so everybody be on your worst behavior. I have Maria, TJ, there's Steve, Elizabeth. Anybody have any questions? He was called into work, and he's watching us from there, Jeff. He's probably in his squad car, watching for speeders.
Oh, his favorite thing.
I would think that was cool if I come across a cop that was sitting there watching Star Trek, you know. COVID.
Yeah.
I was about to ask the same question, actually.
There, Richard.
That's the District Quartermaster. It's been up and running for about 3 months. It's been trialled mainly with Region 20 at the moment, but it's up and running, and we've dispatched stuff out, and it seems to be okay. I'm going to work with the other international RCs probably over the Christmas holidays to plan out. Need to do some trialing. Like for example, with Owen, we need to work out some weights of parcels. So make up a mock order, get what the weight is, and then see what the costing comes out as to post it from either from me, because I hold the stock, as opposed to what it would cost to post for Linda Olsen to post it, so that the different regions can find out what their options would be, really.
Yeah, we'll run that experiment.
Well, that's good. Now, you being the international quartermaster, is that just for fleet stuff, or does that include the SFMC items as well?
Just fleet stuff. Unfortunately, yeah, just fleet stuff.
I remember from a previous broadcast, there seemed to have been a little bit of a kerfuffle about that.
Yeah. Marine Corps General Staff have made a decision that they want to organise how their QM stuff is done separately. It's a shame, because it would have been nice to have been able to offer it all in one go, but it's their it's their QM stuff, so it's their call. But yeah, from the fleet side, it's worked really well because it's as Owen will know, and John and Eilidh, the big problem's been that ordering stuff from Carel in the States, you pay pretty much the cost of your order again in postage.
At least, yeah.
And then that's if you don't get hit with any import tax when it arrives for us. When it arrives in the UK. So this is working out much more cost effective for people.
You'd think they'd want what would be good for the members, not, help them out. All right. Okay, Maria has a question here, and this will be for all you COs. What activities or chapters on the panel doing to keep active at this time during COVID? Who wants to go first?
I'm going to shut up and let someone else go first. I've been talking already.
I'll go first. So the Alba's just had their 7th anniversary, and we had that virtually. Normally we'd have a meal and things like that. So we did things like I kicked off with We Welcome, did promotions, which was really nice because people were able to tune in live to see, hear their name being read out, and then watching the comments as they suddenly realised what was happening. That was great fun. And we had a quiz on the Sunday. We did a remembrance service, We Memorial thing, and a couple of talks about uniform making. But our biggest thing was we had an audience with Max Grudenchik.
Oh,
he beamed in for an hour and a bit to chat with us, which was really great. We had a chance to ask him some questions, but mostly just to listen to him talk. So with things like that, it's mostly just been online videos. Everybody's really active online. We've actually gained, I think, another 10 members, which shows that we, without even conventions and tables for recruiting, we're still able to pull people in, which is great. They've been really active with the academy, lots of chatting online, and that's mainly it. We've got a lot of things coming up that are being planned, but it's all virtual at the moment. So it's actually connected a lot more people because we cover the whole of Scotland, and we've got members in England, Germany, and the US as well. So people have been able to actually meet up when they normally wouldn't be able to, and people working different hours don't always get to conventions and meetups, so that they have asked if we can keep doing online stuff even when things go back to normal.
okay. Owen, what are you all doing?
Well, we've also been doing a fair amount of online stuff. Our science department have been running a weekly Star Trek watch party. We get together on our Slack workspace, and we chat while we watch a pre-selected episode of Star Trek together on Netflix. We've also been doing, we have a daily coffee break video meeting at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Anybody who's not busy doing something else can log in, and we can just have a quick video chat for half an hour over a cup of coffee. Our Marine unit has been continuing to run their Star Trek Online weekly missions every Saturday afternoon, but they were doing that long before COVID anyway. And since the lockdown restrictions started to ease up a little bit here in South Africa, we've been able to do some in-person stuff again, but we've been specifically avoiding meeting together in person and only doing individual stuff. So, for example, this week we've got our blood donation mission. That would ordinarily have been a one-day affair. Everybody in our away teams, that's groups in individual cities, would gather together and donate blood together. But instead of doing that, we've now expanded it so that over a period of a week or 2 weeks, each member can go and donate blood on their own, and then it all counts towards having attended that away mission individually. We also do our weekly fitness events on a weekend. We've got a 5K run on Saturday and Sunday morning, but now we're doing that solo. So we each go and do our own 5-kilometer run, whether it's on your treadmill at home, or if you've got a safe place near your home where you can go do a 5K run, then we do that. And then we share our results from our own various fitness tracking apps so that we can all have attended together, even if we weren't physically together, which is nice.
That's a cool idea.
I like that coffee break idea.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean,
I'll do like that. Yeah.
I don't get to make it to those as often as I'd like, but it's nice to know that it's there every day if I've got the time.
John?
What are we doing? We're doing the discovery every Saturday. Doing the chat, talking about it. The ready room. What's the ready room and do that thing. And 3 weeks time we got a Christmas party.
I'm looking forward to that. I've got my ho-ho hat ready. All right, we're back to you, Richard.
So we've just upped our
Thank you.
online stuff because we were primarily a correspondence chapter under the old sort of regs, and we'd meet up at events once or twice a year. So although we've missed that this year, we've upped our online stuff. We run a weekly jointly actually with one of the other new ships in Region 20, the USS Concord. We're currently running a weekly Friday night watch party for the new episode of Discovery as it comes out, which is going really well, and that's been opened up across the region. We have a weekly quiz. Pippa, our chief of staff, runs a weekly quiz that she puts up on a Friday, and it runs all across the weekend. We've just had a bit of a burst of interest within we have a separate crew logs page, which was originally set up so that people could like role play online as a different character, and that's picked up with a couple of bits. And there's one of our crew, Simon Henderson, is an author, and over December he's doing readings of, I think it's A Christmas Carol, and so we're going to make something of that as well, and tune in when Simon's doing that. But I think the same as what Owen and the others have said, it's been a really good opportunity to bring people together and do bits. We've been really lucky in Region 20 that all of the chapters do unique things, but I made a request earlier in the year, and what's been really good is that everything that's available has been posted across our regional Facebook groups with invites onto the different chapter groups so that people can just join in as and when they want to, and when something sparks their interest. But it's been really good that it's not that there were barriers there, but you know what I mean, it's broken down people feeling that they couldn't go and join in with what another chapter did because it's not their chapter, and that's all sort of gone, and people are just mucking in and enjoying being Star Trek fans together, and it's fueling up interest in being able to meet when we're able to meet, which will be next year really.
If I could interrupt here, is there anybody hearing music? I got a message from Jeff, and he said, oh wait, that was a few minutes ago. Never mind. It must have fixed since then.
So we have a message from our commander here. Wants to say that he's very proud of our members globally for stepping up with the DPP, and the launching of 16 chapters since January 1. He looks forward to serve the members for the past 2 years, or look forward to serving the members in the next 2 years, and to bring the group from the ashes of the past disasters and rise like a phoenix from the ashes. All of you make it worth it being the CS, and I appreciate all of you. Sorry, I need eye surgery, so I have basically really, really, really bad blurring on my vision right now. So
sorry about that.
That's a nice message.
It is a nice message.
Indeed, thank you, sir.
We should do a screenshot and save that for the next time he's angry.
done.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we sure that is actually Steve Palmerly, because there's no cursing in any of that.
It probably fixed it and corrected it out.
Yeah, probably.
Backspace, type backspace.
Yeah, let's see here. We had a couple questions go back in the chat. I'm going to go grab them.
And there's something from Jeff too.
Oh yes, that was that one. Yeah, I don't, but I know we've got some. I know we've got some 3D modelers in R20. I'm not sure if they're on the chat or not. But,
it's a pity Captain Botha couldn't make it. He runs a 3D modeling and 3D printing business on the side, so he's a big expert on that kind of stuff. Hopefully he'll be able to make it to a future one of these.
I hope so. I was looking forward to seeing him.
Looks like we have Jeff wants to tell everybody to remember articles, art, and reports for the end of the year for the communique are due by the 15th of December. And he wants to see some international articles. So anybody's interested, go ahead and send those his way.
It's important, I think, to submit articles and promote your ship in your group and what they're doing. I think it inspires others, or if nothing else, it creates a little competition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly going to urge people who, because we had the end of year edition of our regional newsletter came out at the start of this month. So I'll urge people there who wrote articles for that to send them, just forward them on to Jeff. There's no reason why they can't go again into CQ.
1 second. I'll get that email address up on the ticker so people can use it. Just give me a moment. Make sure I have the right one.
I used to be a proofreader for the CQ, and it was always disappointing about how little was turned in. Because I knew people had done stuff, but
Well, I don't know if it's the same, but I know from talking to our regional team, because it's headed up by, well, it comes under one of my VRCs, Ian. He has responsibility for member stuff, which includes our regional newsletter, and Mark, our newsletter editor. And they said they come across that from talking to just urging people, and people are genuinely, people are worried that they couldn't write to the standard of what they see in the newsletters to start with. So we've been emphasising that please don't let that worry you, and that the team, and I'm sure this is the same for the CQ, the team will work with you if you've got the idea and can give the basis of it, they'll work with you to mould it into an article. It's an interesting question from James has just come up. Not on my ship.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
you would if you had to get. Would you have to get permission of the people if you included pictures?
Yeah, I would do with
Yes,
that, but I think not just to submit an article. No,
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to submit a picture, make sure that it's your picture to use, or you have the written permission of the person whose picture it is, and that you've got the agreement of those that are in the picture to for it to appear.
I always just ask they get my best side and warn me ahead of time so I can suck it in.
Yeah.
They're going to take pictures.
The other thing as well from putting stuff in for the regional newsletter is that I know it's much easier if you don't send the pictures in a document. So like if you've written up your article in Word, don't put the pictures in the Word document, send them separately. You can mark in the Word document where if you want the picture to appear in a certain place in the article, but yeah, don't put them in the picture because you can't grab them and the quality gets really bad.
Russell, did you see what Jeff said?
Which one?
It says the wrong address.
I put the correct one.
Oh, he's got
The same
CQ
one.
Starfleet.
Yep. And then the ticker says CQ Starfleet at gmail.com.
Oh.
Oh, wait. No, you're right. It's backwards.
Yeah.
So that's copied and pasted from the webpage. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Greg,
yeah.
Greg, where are you?
Hey,
Rich
that's
engineering.
Let's see, Greg, it's what, 7 in the morning over there or something? Maybe earlier.
Yeah,
He never sleeps. Yeah, so give me a moment. I'll change that. But yeah, just as
Well,
an example.
James, if you feel better, you can still show your CO, just run it by him. Unless it's a surprise.
no, apparently
No.
that's right, Russell. Jeff just corrected himself again.
Wait, so which one's right?
The one that you just showed from the website, Starfleet CQ.
Oh, we're sure that's right.
As Jeff just said that you're right.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm
Okay.
confused now.
Because mine was wrong on there for a while. It got fixed. There was a bunch of stuff. So
Okay, it's supposed to be Starfleet CQ, right? Okay. Now that we've got that straightened up, any more questions?
let's see.
Who's got their Christmas shopping done?
I haven't even started.
I don't do that kind of thing.
Not well. My Christmas present to me, I got done, and I've used recently. I've come up. That's some of the. I don't know, let me take it out of the. Let me take it out of the film because it's shiny in the film. That's the some of the
stamps.
The stamps,
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the movies set, which features 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 British actors that have appeared in Star Trek. So yeah, they're quite cool. And I've got a couple of those. Oh, where's it gone? I'm just going to cover up because it's got my address on it. So this was the first day cover that I got. So it's got the stamp. You can see the stamp is a Star Trek Delta.
That's nice.
Delta.
Those are really pretty.
Yeah, they're really good. And I've sent some Christmas cards out this year. Normally I wouldn't send physical cards out. I don't anymore because I'd rather spend the money on the postage on supporting a charity. But I thought this year it would be nice to send out physical cards. I sent them all of the regional team, to the COs and XOs of the regional team, and I used the Star Trek stamps on the envelopes. So they've been appearing over the last couple of days. Oh, there's Eilidh's one. Yeah.
I got Spock.
That was an easy one. I tried to give, because there are 2 sets of stamps that I got, 2 sheets. One was the captains, so it had, I've got the spares here. It had Kirk, Jean-Luc, Ben Sisko, Catherine Janeway, Lorca. I want to say there was someone else. Oh, and Jonathan Archer, obviously. So that's the sheet without Kirk, because Kirk's gone viral. He's sitting around somewhere else. And so I tried to match them so that all the COs got a captain and the XOs got an XO. But although Eilidh's a CO, it was a no-brainer that she'd get Spock because he's her favourite. So it was easy.
It made my day.
Yeah.
Sitting on my doormat.
Submissions need to be original stuff. Yes. Please try to refrain from just reposting news. A number of the people on the CQ staff are already doing that. So if you want to do like something like about your chapter or something your chapter's been doing, go ahead. Something you've been doing on the internet that's Star Trek or sci-fi related, go ahead and send in. But yeah, anything that's like just news reposted from Twitter or something like that, or spoilers, try to refrain from that. Oh, we lost Kimmy. Oh, Commander got his first speeder in, apparently.
Good job. Nice.
That's a speed limit in Texas, 16 to 20 over. If it's 70, everybody goes 90 at least. Let's see. So with with all the restrictions you guys have been running into, what would you say has been the most positive come out of it, so to speak? Like for me and our chapter, it's been, we're a lot closer than we used to be. It seems. We know a little bit more about what people are doing than what we used to. Used to be we meet once a month and, oh, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. And then that was all we knew. We didn't really talk a whole lot outside of that. But for us, we've been talking a whole lot more online.
Yeah.
And just text messages and
friendship.
Echo that, and I think actually that for us that's spread out across the region as well. The regions a lot more interactive than it was before with each other. You know, as I said before, so it's little things like people didn't realise that although they were a member of the Merlin, for example, they could join the Alba or the Essex. Have both got a public Facebook group. They didn't realise that because they were on one ship, they could join the public group of another ship and join in with any activities that were on that. So, you know, easy things like that to get sorted out so that people know that they can join in and chat with other chapters. And we've been really lucky that we've got we'll be doing a couple of things. Well before this year started, we were really lucky that Anthony Raythorne, the Tribble Whisperer, runs his weekly competition to give away a Tribble, and he runs that on his chapters page and on the USS Cucullen's page. But he also runs it on the Region 20 page as well, so that goes really well. And then back in March, when we first went into lockdown in the UK, and Ireland, they'd gone into it about a week or so before us. So I decided to do a thing. I dug through all my box of Star Trek bits, where I've got loads of doubles of patches and badges and bits and bobs. And it's been running. It ran for about 20 weeks, and then we've started it up again now. We call it Wonderful Wednesday. And all that I do on Wednesday at midday is I post up what's being given away this week, and all people have to do is put their name on a list. And then on Friday at midday, I pick a name from random, and they get sent a free gift. And what's been really nice is that it's been supported really well by chapters and people across Region 20. So we've had some really nice stuff donated in and given out to people across. But it's really nice because it's something that you know, you don't have to do anything other than put your name on a list, and you might win something for nothing on a Friday. It's just a nice way of doing something different to lift people's spirits up.
It's good then. And we've got the Region 20 Secret Santa as well. And I think there's more people doing that this year. I think there's like 20 people involved this year, so there's definitely more. And I think that's really good as well.
Owen, you're all doing a holiday party too, right?
We are, yes. I've been deliberately not sticking my nose in the organizing of it, so I know very little about the details. All I know is that when it's supposed to be and that I'm supposed to show up.
Yeah, we're cool. Look, I got my Tribble earmuffs. Look at these.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Aren't those just so ugly? They're cute. I saw those at Walmart. I thought, okay, it's a psychedelic Tribble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Rich.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday's giveaway.
Okay, well, ping me a message with some photos of it because I need to put them up. Thank you.
Yeah, it's one off.
Oh, sorry, Carol, that I didn't announce that one had been canceled last week. It was just sort of a last-minute thing, and then I thought that when I was under the impression that when I stopped a broadcast from happening, that it would send out a cancellation. So my fault.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah. But now I know, and knowing is half the battle.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm. Go, Joe. Maria's showing a movie. Who all went to the Fleet Admiral's movie event the other night to watch the What We Left Behind of Deep Space Nine?
I turned it on the first time, and then it booted me. It said the stream was gone, so I assumed the powers that be nailed the video for some reason.
They moved
and then
it
I looked
somewhere
later.
else. Yeah.
And then later on, there was another video. I was like, oh, okay.
I had seen it, but it was good.
Yeah, I can't watch that anymore. I was actually kind of close to Aaron Eisenberg, so seeing him and talking about his character, and
it's bittersweet.
Yeah, I saw it when it came out. I've not watched it again since. That there was I think it's closed at the moment, and I don't know whether they're going to reopen. There was a cinema here in Edinburgh which had a brilliant name for something that was Deep Space Nine because it was called the Dominion Theatre.
Wow.
And they hosted the showing of What We Left Behind, so some of the Alba went to see it there, so that was good fun. But yeah, the Dominion were like, we have to go.
It'd be nice to have an event there. You know, if you could, they let you rent it.
They do. That's why I'm hoping they open up again, because we do have ideas along those lines. You can hire the whole out and show your own movies. So
See, we used to have theaters like that here, but a lot of those theaters stopped doing it because the Motion Picture Association came after them for a breach of whatever contract because they were allowing the screens to be used for other viewings. Kind of got out of hand. Yeah, let's see.
Any more questions?
Any questions from the gallery?
I've got almost all my Christmas shopping done. We picked a child from the Salvation Army Angel Tree, and I got a couple more things to get for that. Whatever crew can help toward it does, and we just send it in the name of the Yorktown.
Oh,
Did you get him a PlayStation 5?
No, but I did. We have gotten 3. He requested, make sure I say this right because I know nothing about that stuff anymore. Xbox One games was what he wanted.
Oh,
so we've gotten 3 of those and some clothes. And I'd like to find what we got our kid last year. It was a solar powered robot you could build, and it made a vehicle, or it was a little robot that walked. And I wanted one. So. But I like building stuff. Not all kids like crafts. Or one kid we saw wanted a hoverboard. Those things are $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
kids like expensive these days.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 years ago. It may have been last year, but my daughter wanted a hoverboard, but she wanted a very specific one. It was an off-road hoverboard with a Bluetooth speaker integrated into it. That thing was $300 and something. I'm like,
oh
no.
Oh, I got it for her because she's spoiled, but
wow,
and she still uses it, so nice. At least she got her use out of it.
That's good. Too many kids open it, put it to one side, move on to something else, and then spend all their time playing with the wrapping paper.
We have we're getting railings for our front porch, the steps. It's our Christmas present, and I did hint shamelessly. We went to the jewelry store the other day to get batteries put in our watches, and they had this gorgeous jade pendant, and I shamelessly hinted, but it won't be happening.
Yeah, I always find if I have something like that, I have to buy it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hints don't work to people.
Well, you'd think it would with a husband.
Oh, they're the worst.
Well, my birthday is a week before Christmas. And our anniversary is Valentine's Day, so he gets one present for 2 events.
I get that. My birthday is the 10th of January, so it's not that close to Christmas, but it's before the payday after Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. And so January feels like 2 months long.
Yeah.
Well said, Elizabeth. I mentioned to the group earlier that I went to a celebration of life ceremony today, and they had masks for people to put on when they came in. Of course, I already had mine, and out of 32 people, only 7 had masks on. So I'm over here in the corner away from everybody with my mask on, and people like that, they owe us conventions and parties and reunions and going to the movies.
Indeed.
I don't know if the movie industry is going to recover from this, but
no, doesn't seem likely.
I know right now there's a theater in my town, and the owner of the theater is basically like, the corporation's not charging us anything for the franchising fees, but he's like, I still have to pay my lease every month.
Yeah.
So he's like, and I have no profit coming in. And I'm like, yeah, that's hard.
That's crazy. I managed to get back to the cinema once before everything went nuts again.
See, they never really reopened them here.
Really?
They just, it's like they almost forgot about them.
They did some here.
Not again in September, I think.
They let us open the drive-in theater, which is, I don't even understand why that was ever closed. But the drive-in theater reopened, and then they allowed, we have these entertainment center places. They have like laser tag and bowling and all that, and movie theaters. They let them reopen.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, they didn't even reopen the theater portions. They just opened up the laser tag and everything else.
Our theaters are open, and then we have the Barter Theater, which is a very old, famous theater in Abingdon, Virginia, and they took over a defunct drive-in and put a stage up, and you could drive there and then watch plays from your car. That's how they survived, because they've been open for, I don't even want to think of how old the Barter Theater is. The reason it's called that because you used to barter to get in. You brought chickens and produce, and that's how you got in. It's really old. I love going there, but and we still have a drive-in. It's ancient.
I opened
I
in
love. Go ahead.
We don't.
1933.
One of the Regent Park theatres open, Rich.
Do what?
Regent Park theatre. Maybe that's open.
Well, it won't be at the moment because it's nothing's open until at least next week with the lockdown and stuff. Because that's an open air theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know actually if they're going to open up. They normally do a Christmas show. I don't know if they will. I know there are other theatres, like live theatres, are opening up in London from next week with lots of, restrictions and stuff. But yeah, I don't know about cinemas actually for us over here. I'm not sure what's happening with those yet. Probably it's all a bit. I think yeah, so I worry because I thought it would be a massive problem for the independent cinemas, but it seems to be the chains that are doing worse. I think it's like Russell said, it's because the they've still got to pay their lease each month, still got to pay a mortgage, but they're not getting any income in. And there's only so long you can sustain that. So see what's going to happen with it long term. But yeah, it will be a shame. But become a luxury. Going to the cinema will become a luxury because it will cost.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Owen, are they doing filming down there still that you're a part of, or is all that shut down?
They've started to bring it back up again. No international productions at the moment, only local stuff. So mostly commercials and some television. But they're very, very strict about the biosecurity protocols. Limited number of people on set. Very strict about sanitizing, mask wearing, that kind of thing. I've only had one shoot so far this season, which it's almost December. This would normally have been my busiest time.
It's so sad. I like watching it because, in case you didn't know, Owen is our resident international star.
That's overstating it a bit. I work as a background extra in film and television advertising, but there's a very lively film production. What's the word? On location industry here. So a lot of international productions will come and shoot this stuff here, and then it gets produced elsewhere, just because the scenery is beautiful and diverse and inexpensive, and the local labor is relatively cheap, including me. So a lot of stuff gets filmed here, but not this year.
No.
Last Wednesday at the USA Ask Me Anything, they were talking about Game of Thrones and that one character that you dressed up like, and I said, Owen dressed up like that, but I couldn't find the picture. I was going to share it.
Oh dear, yeah. That was
You
me.
should share that.
I've got it here somewhere. It's on my Facebook profile, I think.
I even looked. I couldn't find it, but it was so good.
That was good.
I miss going to conventions and stuff.
Yeah,
any more questions? Gosh, Elizabeth, I've not been to a bar in 20 years, I guess, maybe 22. I don't remember the last time I had a mixed drink. Oh. I don't count having a rum and coke for these things. Which I have nothing now. This is regular coke. You're right, Jeff. It is cheaper to drink at home.
Well, yeah.
We have a restaurant here called Cheddar's, and they have a drink that's got rum and coconut in it. It has toasted coconut on the rim, and it looks so good. Let's see.
You got to click the link.
I did. I thought I
Sorry
did.
about that.
No, you can't click it like that. You got to copy it. Here,
Oh.
give me a minute. I'll grab it.
You fix it.
Sorry.
I got to work. I'm working on one other thing at the moment, but yeah, give me a second. Yeah, my phone's going up. Let's see.
We wanted to go see the Janeway statue. And some friends of ours from down the other end of Tennessee went to see it. And have y'all seen it? Seen pictures of it or whatever?
Yes, I saw the pictures. Yes, yeah.
Looked really good.
There you guys are.
Look at that.
There it is.
Pretty close.
Right. Came out nicely. I'm pleased. Now you see that the sword that I'm holding there, that was made for me by Captain Botha and his wife. So they do 3D printing and stuff, and the detail on that came out beautifully.
Nice.
He printed.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you? Marvelous.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would hate to be lost and have you answer the door one night. That was.
Oh, no, don't ever watch Trick or Treat when you come round to my flat, because I think if kids are allowed to come and knock on my door, it's fair game. I can terrify them.
Oh, I dressed up, but we did the social distancing. But
There we are.
oh, got to put the.
800th episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 54 years, 3 months, and 22 days.
I love the short treks.
That's epic.
I haven't got to see the Ready Rooms. I haven't caught up on those, but I'm caught up on Discovery.
Yeah, they are good. They are good.
I've liked it this season. Well, because I watch Star Trek even if it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I said I'll watch it all once. But if it's good, I'll watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I've had uni essays to finish, so I've been keeping Discovery to binge watch over the holiday. I think I've seen the first 2 episodes, and then I'm just going to watch the rest probably in an all-nighter.
Russell, did you see that from Steve? He wants you
No,
to check. He wants you to check your Facebook Messenger.
All right, tell him it'll take me a minute because I got like 3 other things I'm doing. But yeah,
Steve, he said it will take a minute. I feel like Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest, just repeating. Wish I looked like that.
hey, you're the one doing it.
Computer.
Hey, you just turned my Alexa on, Kim.
Oh, but understood my accent. That's good.
She just
I was in the
followed
bedroom, so I'm all right.
I hate it when Alexa just comes on. Like there's no sound in the house. It'll be like 4 a.m. and I'll be up and I'll just be walking into the kitchen and it'll say, "I cannot find what you were looking for." It's like,
Wow.
That's not
creepy.
creepy.
I've got mine set to come on at the word computer, which is sometimes hilarious when I'm watching Star Trek because she responds before the characters do. But a couple of times she has just started without the word computer being said. And sometimes she completely ignores when you say it, like she just did. And then she'll pick up on someone else saying it. It's hilarious. Artificial intelligence, I love it.
I have
do,
trouble just on my phone.
Yeah, I do a weekly Zoom call with my lodge, and regularly when we're chatting on there, one of the guys, one of us will trigger his Alexa, just randomly. Guaranteed, it'll be every week. It will go off at some point, and then you hear it saying, "I can't find that." Or
It was hilarious
funny.
during our audience with Max Grodenchik. One of the guys was introducing me, of course, as the CO, and the name Eilidh kicked his Alexa in, and it started to explain what alien life forms were, because it had picked up aliens, which I thought was hilarious, because I always tell people that's how to pronounce it. I say it's Eilidh, like alien, but without the N. So I thought it was hilarious that Alexa picked up on that as well. Cracked me up.
I remember it like Haley. So that's how I remember it. Haley without the H.
Yeah, a few people do that as well. I like telling people it's like Kaylee, as in Scottish dance, and then people have no idea how that's spelled either. But yeah, alien without the N. I like that one because I like aliens. So.
See, I just remember that the AI or the EI is a hard A sound, and then don't pronounce the D.
See,
yeah, if you
that makes sense. Whereas a lot of people, they see it written down and just go, they don't even then try and pronounce it.
That's why I wrote you ahead of time before your first time as a guest to ask you.
I appreciated that very much.
Because there's no way I could do that phonetically. I just like, what in the world? But it's pretty, and it looks pretty written out. But when you're stuck with Kim, it's just not a lot you can do with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Kimmy. That's about it.
I had a friend from Michigan that was saying Mickerbly for some reason. She turned the Kim around to Mick. I was like, okay.
I like seeing it written out in full. Everyone shortens it to Kim, so seeing it written as Kimberly is nice.
I prefer Kimberly, but people always shorten it. And then I had an uncle. Was a little man, but had a very big mouth. He was very outgoing, very boisterous, never saw a stranger. And he yelled at me like 5 stores down in the mall. He saw me and he's like, hey, Kimmy, real loud. And that started it. Keep going, Kimmy. He said, how's my favorite niece? And then he'd say to my sister, he called her Hopi. Hopi, how's my favorite niece?
Yeah. I have to say that.
I was gone to a Starfleet event when he passed away in 99. So my mom said, come home. I had to leave early. And it's a long. Oh, sorry. Getting maudlin. Kiki. Who's Kiki?
No, that's a short for Kimberly too.
Oh, Kiki.
I hadn't thought of that one.
Anybody call me Kiki, I'll kill him. Unless you hand me a.
Everyone take notes.
Someone just planted a seed in the CS head right there.
As long as you hand me a tiki drink with it, I'm good. Except I just saw on the news last night, and I've probably been out of the loop, that some racist group is using tiki shirts and stuff as part of their uniform. So, leave stuff alone. Why can't you just wear plain like desert khaki or something?
Because they like latching onto things that's going to annoy people.
And I mean, it's just like trying to look like a biker with a Vespa. You know, I mean, how badass can you be in a flowery Hawaiian shirt? Shut up, Steven. I don't care. You can't make a nickname out of Owen and John. Those are.
Not much you can do with that. Not much you can do with that.
I don't know, Owen.
Anything could be done if you have,
Well, Owen and John are the same name. It's Owen's just the Welsh version of it.
Yeah.
And in fact, John is my middle name, so my parents gave me the same name
You're
twice.
called John.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now, one of our family names is Bowen. So, that'd be Alpha Owen Bowen.
Like that. I think quite a lot of people don't realize that names are like some names like Owen, John, and Ian are all the same name. And Sean in Ireland, of course, they are all John, but from
Right.
different cultures. And yeah, I do know people that are called like Ian John and Sean John, and I even know someone called Hamish James. That's the same name. Hamish
To
is
the person who, oh, sorry, go ahead.
James, so yeah. Look it
I was
up
gonna say
in Facebook.
To the person who's naysaying the CS, saying he's not a deputy sheriff, I present to you a picture of him at work right now.
Could you smile a little bit there?
That is his smile.
Oh dear. That was a good expression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks like he wants to be at work today.
Yeah.
Can you sneak out early, Steve?
He can't really sneak out. I mean, his squad
Well, I
car
mean,
is
they
GPS
might let
tracked.
him. They might let him off early
Oh,
since he's subbing. We've got to put up Christmas decorations today. I got 4 trees to do.
4. Oh, no, we have 1, and that's enough.
Well, I guess I wished I had grandkids, and the kids aren't around. They're all grown up and everything, and I still do it, trying to get that feeling back, And I got to get my Star Trek ornaments out. I found it was the second ornament Hallmark did, which I don't remember what year those were. They came out, but it was the space shuttle that talks like Spock. It says Shuttlecraft Enterprise. I got it for $25 the other day. I went and dropped off a donation of clothes, and I had that one. But I thought, I'm not going to pass it up for $25. So.
No. Yeah.
That's awesome. See, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I would totally have the ornaments.
Yeah.
I got the Baby Yoda one
Yeah.
that came out. I had to have it.
I don't get all of them. I used to, but I couldn't keep up. But then when I was divorced for a while, it was like, do I get gas for my car or do I get a Star Trek ornament?
And you got the Star Trek ornament, didn't you?
No, I don't. One I really wanted that I didn't get was the City on the Edge of Forever one, where Kirk and Spock are going to go through the Guardian. The Guardian.
I love that one.
I don't have that one, but I got the really cool Deep Space Nine station.
I have that one.
I like it. Hey, Owen, you done anything with that stuff I sent you yet? Put you together a costume?
Not a costume. I put it all. It's can't really see because of the lighting, but I've got a display cabinet behind me here, and it's all been artfully arranged inside there.
Oh,
for the time being, until I'm able to put together a uniform with some of it. But thank you again.
Be
Bye,
safe,
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, be safe, Steve.
Yeah.
Owen made me. I sent Owen a package of some extra stuff I wasn't going to use anymore, some Klingon things and different stuff. And it took 6 months to get there, something like that. And he was like, if it had came on the back of a pack of a team of snails, it couldn't have got there any slower.
That's true. Yeah, no, that was terrible. Yeah, our postal system is completely unreliable. I'm surprised it made it at all, and I'm glad that it did. But it's yeah.
I'd given up because he loves Mountain Dew, and I found him a Mountain Dew T-shirt here, and I thought, great.
That's cool.
I'm still waiting for my my ballot forms for the CS election. Not the last one, the one before. They still haven't arrived.
Really?
Yeah, the postal service here is terrible.
It's such a beautiful place where you live.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. So it's worth it. I'll put up with a shoddy postal system for having mountains outside my window.
Mm-hmm.
We are quite lucky that
Right.
we still at the moment have a fairly decent postal service. I mean, those cards I sent out, I was really quite surprised. I posted them at about 5 p.m. Thursday evening, and they were arriving on Friday morning.
Wow.
A lot of people. I mean, the best ones were, Eilidh and Scott got up to Edinburgh by the next day. One got over to Northern Ireland, and they were the farthest ones. And I've sent some to Ireland and some further afield, which I know will take a while. Quite impressed. But then stuff coming to and from the States can be horrendous. So Owen, we might have to try sending something to you just to see how long that takes. If we're going to work on master stuff,
give it a run, see what happens.
That's a similar problem again, Russell. If we with the Hallmark figures for us, we have to buy them from the US store, and then you get walloped again for the postage, for the package and delivery.
So they don't have them over there, basically.
No, they don't. There is Hallmark. There isn't Hallmark stores and stuff, but there is a Hallmark UK website. But all of the decorations you get diverted onto the US website.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah. There were very, very few Hallmark stores over here, very few and far between. But I never saw them sell any of the Trek stuff. Which is a shame.
remember when that first one came out. Maybe it's 91. All I know is they said it was coming, and I called my closest Hallmark store, and she goes, "I'll let you know when it's in." And they didn't know there'd be such a mad rush for it. They didn't make enough, and at one time those were going for like 300 on eBay. And in fact, I thought mine was lost. I was missing the first two, and then we were going through some of Matthew's things, and I found them. And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" And Tom's thinking, "Oh, thank goodness for my checkbook." Because I was going to say, "You've got to replace my Enterprise." I know it's corny, but when I see that ship go across on the screen, it just makes me feel good.
That's not corny.
When you're the only one in your family, my mom will say, "Where'd you come from?" I said, "Well, you met Dad, and you did a special hug." And
I'm the same. I've got 9 young siblings, and not one of them likes science fiction.
But your dad likes historical stuff, isn't that right? You and he.
Yeah, my dad likes Star Trek, and Mum kind of likes it, but none of my siblings do. I've tried to make them. My youngest sister kind of gets it a little bit, but that's because she spends has spent more time with me. But the others are just kind of like, one of my sisters is a wee bit. She didn't finish school, so one day we were arguing about space basically and the solar system, and I referred to planet Earth, and she just went, "Oh, you just want Earth to be a planet because you like Star Trek." And I was like, "How am I related to this person?" She literally, because we were standing on the ground, could see the stars. We could not be in space. She could not get it. It was hilarious.
Call it Terra next time. That'll get her if you call it Terra. So we're Terrans.
Oh, absolutely. No, she was adamant, and everybody was laughing, and she was like, "Why are you laughing at me?" So we had to get like a model out and show her, and she was like, "Oh, but how can I see the stars?" And I'm like, "You could if you were standing on any planet."
I want the Flat Earth Society. My little sister, she's like nearly 6 years younger than me. She didn't know there was such thing, and she's not big into history or science or anything really. And she's just like, "Even I know the Earth isn't flat." She goes, "Are you telling me the truth?" And I said, "Yeah. There's a Flat Earth Society. They have shirts and everything."
Yep. Have you seen their Facebook page? Yeah, it's hilarious. We have members all around the world.
They're a
Right.
contradiction in
I know,
themselves.
as somebody had commented, read that again slowly.
I don't know. I remember when they landed on the moon and people didn't believe it. So
And it always amazes me. I wonder why people are so adamant to disbelieve that something happened. Like, what's the problem with men walking on the moon?
Ed said their theories fall flat.
Oh dear,
I see what you did.
that's hilarious.
I just looked again for Hallmark just to check I was correct, and in fact they've changed it even more now. So I googled, I went onto the Hallmark, I googled for Hallmark Star Trek ornaments, and it brings me to the US site, and it highlights the fact that I'm in the UK and says if you want to order from the US site, you must have a US shipping and billing address. So
nice.
I go to the Hallmark UK website, and there's no Star Trek ornaments on there.
Well, you can send them to me, have them sent to me, and then I could make a box and send it over. That's awful. They should make as small as the Earth is now. It should be easy to order from anywhere.
Well, they're missing out on custom, really. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah.
There's quite a lot of them on Amazon though, because that's my first port of call. You put
And
Star Trek
eBay.
on
eBay.
Yeah.
I even found stuff on the Facebook Marketplace. Different things. I got Tom a Star Trek Next Generation chess set for $15.
Oh wow.
I know. And the figures could have been painted a little bit better, but still, it looks good sitting out. He's trying to teach me how to play, and it's not going well.
You've seen people already cashing in on Christmas decorations for special themes for 2020.
Yes. I saw one with the Grinch's hand, like he's holding it. It's a 2020 stink, stank, stunk. Oh, I wouldn't mind, James. The only thing I ever had a bad experience with in the UK actually was Wales. I had a first edition paperback of A Night to Remember, and I have a friend, a member of our crew now. He lives over there, and he's a big Titanic fan. And so I shipped it to him, and it was left with his neighbor, and then his neighbor turned it back in, and so it ended up coming back here. I thought, well, that was $22 wasted.
Yeah.
For a paper. It's still in the envelope over there. I guess I'll send it again one day.
That's a shame.
It is, because
You think
he's
the
just
one popped it round at least.
okay. Any more questions? We're an hour in. I don't even know what the ornaments are this year. I've not even looked. I've been so very busy with my parents. Tomorrow I get to walk Mother through a Zoom doctor's visit. I was sitting there with her. That's going to be fun. She goes, can't you just do it? I went, no, you're the patient. We'll do it. It's not hard. And it's just like you're talking to somebody on the face to face, but you're apart. It's safer. So I don't know.
Apparently this year it's Mirror Universe.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Rich.
Oh yes, I do like the Mirror Universe.
I do too. I wouldn't want to live in it, but I'd like to visit it as long as I could get out.
And this is the Tree Topper, which is musical.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
All that.
expensive, wasn't it?
Yep. Lights up.
I always thought Deep Space Nine, the station, would be a good tree topper.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I've got models and I need to build them, and I'm not a good model builder. Oh, look at that. I've got Archer's ship. It looks like pewter. The older ornaments plug into the light string to make them work. And now they come with batteries. They finally got rid of that because you couldn't hook more than one on the same string of lights. And so you were always juggling, trying to make sure you didn't overload your tree. I even got Nimbus ones of Star Trek, and they are so ugly. It's got that little shuttle they stole off, what's his name? Shinzon's ship?
Scorpion shuttle, yeah.
Yes, that was one of them. I like the station. And James says he would wait for a DS9 year. They did do a lot of, they did a wharf, but I don't know if they've really done a lot of deep space. Now, we've got a Cisco. I don't know if they did any more, like of Odo, or...
I've never seen any.
He would look like he'd been held up too close to the tree. A lot, I mean. Can you imagine a Ferengi Christmas ornament? But you could make your own. Where is it? It's not in here. I made a couple years ago, took a clear Christmas ball, craft one, and I put a space scene in it, and I cut out Kirk where he's standing there with all the tribbles on him. And then I put little pom-poms in there, so it looked like he was in the pile of tribbles. That was the ornament I made. That was so cute. Yeah, I've got a runabout. They did a, Ben Cisco Station runabout defined. I'd like to have a runabout in my driveway. Wouldn't it be neat? It's modular, not too big. Do runabouts have weapons?
They do, yeah. Phasers and photon torpedoes.
Okay, well, see, I'm good. They're talking about here letting you have flying cars in Florida. Of all the states.
I was going to say, is that the one that has the reputation for the lethal drivers? Now they're going to let them off the roads.
I lived in Florida for 6 years. I prefer to say I was exiled there. And it's very different. Of course, I lived in a bigger city. The driving was just horrendous. It took me go ahead.
No,
Go
carry
ahead.
on.
Well, it took me an hour to an hour and a half to go 24 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but the traffic would be so bad. And nobody lets you over. And if you let somebody over yourself, they look at you so shocked, they miss their opportunity. You know, they're just... Because I was used to that, because where I live, it's a smaller city, and then people let you out, you know, they'll wave you, and then you wave back to thank them. Not down there, no. Yep, look there. Epcot.
That's hilarious.
Eilidh, I was going to ask you something about movie theaters over there. I have a friend that lives in, I know I'm going to say it wrong, but he lives in Loch Carron.
Loch Carron.
Thank you. And he said a truck used to come around that was a mobile movie theater.
Oh, I used to live on the Isle of Skye, which is not that far from Loch Carron. And it was the cinema truck would come around. It was owned by, funded by the Royal Bank of Scotland. And it was a big, huge lorry, and they would park it in a car park and then get wee winches out the side and unwind it, and it would stretch out. It seated 90, beautiful reclining fluffy seats, huge proper curved screen you could watch 3D movies in, and they would just park up and put the legs out. And the first movie I watched in it was The Dark Knight Rises, and I was watching it during a storm, and the van was rocking like that. And they take it on the ferry, and it goes around all the highlands and islands, and
I thought that was so nice.
Through, yes, yeah, it's huge.
There's a company over here now, excuse me, called Luna Cinema, Luna, and they make. They just set up cinemas in all sorts of places, stately homes, gardens, and whatever. So a couple of years ago, we went to see it was one of the new Star Wars movies. I can't think which one. In the moat of the Tower of London.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, and they do stuff at stately homes quite regularly, and in gardens and stuff. But yeah, Lunar Cinema, they do stuff quite regularly, because they've caught onto that sort of idea of, outside, as long as the weather's all right, it's outside good, and you get all the atmosphere of where you are, but you can still watch a movie. That's really good.
It's just the historical
And the
aspect
truck,
of where
brilliant,
you
yeah.
are, and it being in a truck where people were beheaded. Oh yeah, look at that. That is amazing.
It's like that inside.
Wow.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Nice.
And you just, when it puts its legs out, it parks up like that, and it's got ladders up to it. It's got a box office and everything inside. You just had to buy your own snacks to take in because they didn't have a shop. But
Yeah.
it was great. And they put the schedule up, and they'll be in like Ullapool in the far north one day, then they'll come down to Skye, then they'll go to 3 points on Skye, then they'll do some points on the mainland, and then they even go out to North and South Uist, which is almost as far as over as you can go, and then it's the Atlantic and then America. And they just take it on the ferry. It takes up the whole thing because it's huge, and everybody would go. It would be there for 2 days, and everybody would meet up and go.
Be like in the old days when the circus came to town.
Yes, exactly. And they always had really good movies. They never had, like sometimes you'd have to wait in the islands. We used to have to wait like a year for them to come around. And we could bring our own snacks and drinks.
Somebody set up a grill. Yeah.
Like the new Star Wars movies would be in it. They had the Star Trek movies when it came out. Frozen was in it straight away. So they treat it just like a real cinema, not having to wait for it to.
But that's great, because those places, those locations wouldn't be able to sustain a commercial cinema on their own.
Yeah.
So by doing this, everyone gets to go to the cinema, but the cinema comes to you.
And it wasn't a horrendous price either. They were like about, I think they were slightly less expensive than going to the actual cinema. I think it was about £9-10.
That's not bad, is it?
No. And we had an independent one on Skye in the Aros Centre, which is where they had a big camera up there, and you could watch the sea eagles nesting. And they ran a community theatre up there as well, but they never got the big movies until like 6 months later.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Well, we've got communities here that they'd have to drive at least 45 minutes to get to a theater. And an hour. Some of them, I think they would benefit. Because I think, what do they do out here? Because even in my town, there's nothing really for teenagers to do but go to a movie. The roller rink's gone. We have one little tiny bowling alley, one miniature golf place.
And they wonder why people are on the streets just wandering around doing nothing. Like, give them something to do. That was always a wee bit of trouble in the islands, because there wasn't that much for young people to do, and then the cinema started coming around. But when you got to like teenage years, you ended up leaving and going to the mainland, because that's where the work opportunities were. It's a wee bit like that still, but I think a lot more young people go back, especially if they have Gaelic, because that's a big thing now. So they'll go back and teach in the schools.
That would be hard to learn.
Not really. It's like any language.
Look, I can barely do English, so I'm not being flip, because I fight with if I send a text message to somebody using voice, it starts out okay, and then it says things like, go to the fire department. That's not supposed to be fire department, and because I'm fussing at it, and it picks up what I'm fussing about. It's supposed to be flower shop, Jason said, don't do that anymore. It hurt my head to read it. Just type it or wait to call me.
Yeah, they're good until you try to get them to understand what you're telling it to record.
Oh, they didn't like Southern. Jeff, what's natural light? Oh, you mean a beer? No, I can't drink beer. No. We want to extend our patio. I'd like to have a place out there to put a, you know, those portable fireplace things. Which now I can't think, you know, it's round, has a net-like thing on top, and you can sit around it and roast marshmallows. I need one of those, but our patio's so small, and nobody can get together anymore. Oh, a fire pit. Thank you. You know, my daddy has dementia, and every time I forget something like that, I get so frightened thinking, oh, God, it's hit me. It's starting. I don't want to go like that. So teenagers can't drink natural light, Jeff. You have to be 21. Me being older, you could be 18 to drink alcohol. When I was 18, and then I just kept going up with the age, but I didn't have my first drink till I was like 23, so I was sheltered and had strict parents that had to face a cop than my mother. Because they'd just arrest me and book me and let me go. She'd still be fussing about it. Okay, no human can what, Steve?
I think that was in reference to the beer.
Oh, run them all the way, or White Russians. Ooh. All right, we are an hour and 20 minutes in, and we've just been gabbing. Does anybody have anything they want to share that's upcoming that we've not talked about for their ship or their region or to fuss about? Any complaints from your crew about the Facebook thing where your name has to match what's in the database? Is that going all smooth?
No, I explained it on the regional page. We've got a few members. So I messaged Eric, and so I'm collating a list for Eric of Region 20 members that have let me know. We've got a few, but then we do that with we do similar with our Region 20 members only group anyway. Twice a year we have a weed through to make sure that it's only current members that are in there. Yeah.
Yeah, Region 8, as far as I know, it's not affected. I haven't heard any messages from anybody.
I have one crew member that has a false name because he had a stalker that ended up getting arrested, and the stalker just keeps making a new account. And the stalker found out where he worked, called his work, tried to get him in trouble. It's just terrible. So I don't know what we're going to do. I can just pass on stuff to him. But yeah, in the Region 1 commanding officers group, there's people that haven't been a CO in years, or they're not in the region anymore, and they forget to remove themselves out. The USS Haven will be attending Sci-Fi Bartow. Where's Bartow? I know where Barstow is. USS Haven. Oh, that's Lauren's ship. I should know that. That's in Florida. She killed me knowing I threw up on Florida earlier. Hope you're not watching this, Lauren. Okay, does anybody have any questions? If not, we're going to end it here. Come on, speak now. Like Russell had said, even though we don't get a lot of people watching these so much, when they're live, they'll watch the recordings. It's like exponential, a lot more. So, Bartow, Florida. I had never heard of Bartow. Somebody had the bar towed, which I could see in Florida. Liberty Bell. That's right. Phyllis was going to try to come today, and she has a problem with her internet connection.
I wonder where she's at.
Where is she? She's
Dublin.
in Dublin.
Dublin, and I think that area of Dublin doesn't have very good broadband connections. I know that she runs on mobile data most of the time.
Oh,
so that makes it a wee bit dodgy coming on.
And expensive if you don't have a plan.
Yeah, so a couple of times I've been over there and I've stayed at her place, and the signal drops out quite a bit because it doesn't always reach through walls and things like that, and no Wi-Fi, and I don't think anywhere in that actual section.
Jeff,
maybe places.
You seen this, Steve? Nobody's fussing about the test anymore. That's good. So it's just the database, and what's the other thing people bitch about? I mean, fuss about. I don't know. We're doing pretty good on our ship. It's just quiet because I have a very physical bunch. They don't really like being online. They want to be in person. And then I got 2 that don't have internet in their town at all.
Wow.
I know, and it's not that part of the business work, but they pay for it. But just to have internet connection to your house, and RJ, he tried even getting a satellite to do that, but it didn't work well.
I didn't know there were any places that couldn't get it.
It's literally, I've heard of one light towns, but I've never seen one. It does have one traffic light. It's Cleveland, Virginia. And Russell will go to his son's house, which is about 10 miles away, and he can get internet there. And he brings a couple with him, and they sit there and look on their little phone. So I've got 3 guys looking at a phone screen trying to attend a meeting.
Wow.
I don't know. But I said, we'll get to go soon. Hopefully this vaccine will work and we can go bowling again. Oh, yeah, the bank accounts. Do not ask Steve about the bank accounts.
Should be a taboo list.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just like to see the top of his head come off. And here going, damn you, you had to ask me that. Okay, well, so it's 4:30, so we're going to close, but I want to thank Richard Sams, John Hardy, Owen, Swart, and Eilidh Montgomery, and also Russell, who helped me out tremendously. Thank you all for coming, and sorry, now I'm doing that thing where people don't know how to leave a thing properly. I got to play the outro. When you do something twice a month, you don't get in good shape for it. All right. Thank you all for coming, and we will see you next month.
Thanks, everybody. Swat out.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
I don't ever want to do that.